You know that it's fun to go out, except I never leave my house. I'm either at work or home, and it seems kind of pathetic just drinking alone. So if you got nothing going on, have some drinks with Ron.
Yes. Welcome to Drinks with Ron. I'm Ron, and I just cracked open a drink. It's a new Glarus Brewing Company Moon Man, a no-coast pale ale. What that's supposed to mean is that it's not an East Coast IPA. It's yeah, but it's supposed to be just a pale. Pale. That's a big misconception. People hear pale and they think pale ale, India pale. IPA and pale ale, totally different. Pale is the kind of malt that they use to make the beer, which is generally it's a pale color, kind of hazy. IPA has more to do with the hops. So this guy's always been a pretty good drinker, but I got it this last time and it's way more bitter than I remember. It's closer to an IPA than just a regular pale. I don't think my tastes have changed that much, but let me digress. Well, Bob Seger on the platter. Not sure if you can hear that because I try to keep it low, avoid those copyright flags, so they don't take a cut of my zero monies that I make from doing this. But yeah, I high pour. People think that I'm an idiot when I do this, but I'll say it again. I do it intentionally. Got to release that carbonation out of the beer. Look at how that. If you don't get it out of there in the glass, it comes out in your stomach, and that's where you get that filling, burpy feeling from beers. Don't get me wrong, I will crush a bunch of them straight from the can as well, but, you know, if I'm drinking a decent beer, I want that carbonation out of there. So that's what I've done. You know what, we'll call that a win. And I've got the soundboard hooked back up, so we'll call that a win. Yeah, it's, don't really have a point to this episode. Saturday, done with work. It's been a holiday season. I could use a beer. And I don't drink much beer anymore because I'm trying to watch the sugars. Because, you know, well, I had mentioned in a prior episode the heart attack, and then I had mentioned that kind of was the fault of the diet. You're saying, what killed Ron? Was it drugs? No, it was McDonald's. Well, that's only partially true because it turns out that I was an undiagnosed diabetic, which makes the cholesterol stack at an insane rate, which clogged the arteries. So technically, my diet wasn't, while not great, wasn't really the cause. If my diabetes was in check, I could have been eating exactly what I was eating and it wouldn't have been a problem. But now it's a fucking problem. So anyway, we've got that all figured out. I'm taking the fucking injections now that totally just fuck up your digestive system and makes you not want to eat food and feel nauseous and shitty. But I haven't lost my feet. So again, we're gonna call that a win. Yeah, so I've really had to cut back on the beer. There's sugars in beer. Really, the thing I'm supposed to be drinking is just straight whiskey, no mixer. I mean, I guess you can get away with the diet. That works too. But if I'm gonna do it, you know, let's do it. I already went through my bourbon phase years back, and I believe that's actually all in Drinks with Ron. I went looking for the king of the mid to low priced bourbon, with the line being Jim Beam. Anything cheaper than Jim Beam. I wanted to taste them, see what was good and what was garbage. I can tell you a lot of whiskeys to avoid. If you need to know that, do not drink Old Thompson. Don't do it. I was getting that shit for $6 a liter back in the day. A big liter glass bottle, $6, went up to $7. I was like, I don't know if I can do it. It was, yeah, tastes like gasoline. It's terrible. But yeah, I said I went through my bourbon phase, and now like the world is caught up and it's all high-end specialty bourbons and even in town now, my little town of 4,000, you can get the liquor store buys all these high-end hefty bourbons, and that's really not where I am. I said I kind of did some of this. I got a bottle of Eagle Rare over there. It's probably 10 years old, covered in dust. Saving that. I bought a bottle of, I don't know what the fuck it is. It's it's Yellowstone. Okay. So it's 108 proof. Got it on sale. So this bottle was 25 bucks. Normally going north of 50. It's made by one of Stephen Beam. So it's in the Beam family of distillers. Oh, yeah, I should break it. Yeah, so I'm not really with the whole high-end thing. I would rather just buy a bottle of Jim Beam and just know I've got a solid, cost-effective, tasty bourbon. But yeah, I said I'm watching the sugars because, well...
Hi, I'm Wilford Brimley.
Frankly... Yeah, I gotta turn on the bottle.
You know, when you first find out from your doctor, you know, when you first find out from your doctor, you know, when you first find out from your doctor,
You got diabetes.
can be mind-boggling. Diabetes.
Oh, diabetes.
I'm a diabetic.
Wilford Brimley is my spirit animal.
Liberty will even give diabetes
Right to your door.
And you'll ask yourself, how in the world am I going to afford all this stuff?
That's true.
Insulin, pills, doctor's visits, blood sugar, pills, diabetes,
That's such a banger.
Hi, I'm Wilford Brimley.
Oh yeah, that's right. It's on loop. Yeah. So that's where we are. You won't see me drinking as many beers on the show, and not as many in general. But I mentioned earlier we did come off the holiday season. Thankfully, that bitch is in the can. But I got some cool shit this year. So you know what? Maybe we'll bust that out before we shut down the episode. This one was something I sent from my wife to get me, but man, they the size was misleading. It's a towely towel, but it's towely on both sides, which, you know, isn't how a towel is designed. So I was hoping there'd be one towely filling this whole thing, but you know, you're supposed to hang it over a towel thing, and don't forget to bring a towel. And my wife did the old AI generated me a book. Yeah, look at Norm Dog there. What a dog. I'm partway through the first chapter. It's supposed to be written through my perspective, telling a story. God, the writing is fucking terrible. Like, the third paragraph, I was insulted that it was writing things and saying that it was me saying this shit. I was like, that's garbage. Like, after a while, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna write a fucking book because I can do better than this. This is fucking crap, but it's cool. So you know, we'll see if maybe the story gets better. I said the dialogue and the yeah, it's kind of bad. But this guy. I said, anything that's self-aggrandizing, you know, I'm in for. But my wife got me the little drinks with Ron, with a microphone and a beer, and I don't know how his beard is not gray, because, but that's my only gripe, you know. Got a little Steelers hoodie on under there, gray. I literally have this hoodie. So it's, yeah, so I was a big fan of that. Got some other cool shit, but those are the ones at hand. We might have to find a spot for him to hang out in future episodes. Kind of like that. Probably can't see it. But what you gonna do? I'll know it's there. And at the end of the day, I'm the one that matters here. So I said I brought over the soundboard that I use on the podcast. What else is on here? Of course, the two high sounders on the board. The Timmy T laugh. I love that one. What else we got? Oh, yeah. Yeah, so I just love having the board on there. As I mentioned, going through all this medical shit now. So the heart attack. Luckily, I actually got in there. I don't know what it is. They measure, this is like some sort of enzyme, I don't know, that you're supposed to when you're having a heart attack. So they measure this, and there's actually like a cutoff level of when you reach whatever, you're having a heart attack. So I got to the hospital and that level was still so low. I technically wasn't even having a heart attack until some point in the ambulance ride. Like by the time we got to the hospital in the next city, I was then like just crossing the heart attack line. So I got to it early enough that they said, one guy said essentially no damage, which is the big worry with the heart attack. You deprive it of oxygen, the muscle, blah, blah, blah. I mean, just getting it back in sync to pump can be an issue for people. So, yeah, like super lucky. So I got there before it really did a heart attack. So, essentially I could set not long-term damage, get my shit in order, and taking the medicine for the diabetes, and
Hi, I'm Wilford Brimley.
and then once you get that in order, that takes care of a large part of everything else. But yeah, I'm on a shitload of meds, and I'm terrible at remembering things like that. And now I got to take them morning and night, and one of them's 12 hours apart. It's a blood thing to keep, because I got the stents in there from where the diabetes give me the cholesterol blockage. But you don't want blood clotting around the stents. So I have to take something that's not necessarily like a blood thinner, but it keeps it from sticking to the foreign object in my veins, arteries, whichever one it is. It's not important now. What's important now is the robbery references. Yeah, so I got to take these pills morning and night. There's different ones. So that one for the stents I'll be able to quit taking probably this month. But there's some other ones. There's one that's supposed to just improve general heart health and the muscle. There's a couple I honestly not even sure what they fucking do. The doctor said take them, so I'm gonna take them. I mean, yeah, doing your own research is nice, and I am gonna actually look up what they do. It's been told, it's been explained to me. I just didn't care enough to remember. But anyway, I'm just gonna take them. But the one that kills me, I'm actually supposed to take a morning, noon, and night. I'm supposed to take one at noon, which I should figure out why, because I don't do it. I can't. And part of the reason, not only that it's the third one, I'd have to remember to take it to work with me, but it's also a tiny fucking pill. Little tiny sumbitch. And like, that's bad enough, now I have to come up with a case for one tiny pill to take with me to work and eat at lunch, even though the injection makes me not hungry, so I don't eat food most days. Anyway, I'm under fucking 200. I'm under 190. I've been under 190 since the 90s. So it's fucking weird. It's fucking weird. But yeah, it's a fucking pill. It's half of this pill. So I have to crack this fucking tiny little thing. It's the smallest pill I've ever fucking seen. Gotta break it in half. Which is bad enough. I said it's because it's small. It's hard to break something that's small. But one of them, I can put it right over, snap it, works pretty good. But as I started going, I noticed I'd break them over the rim of the pill bottle. And I was noticing one day I could not fucking do it. I'm like, why won't this break? And I started looking. There was two shapes of pills in there. like one's a little tiny kind of ovalish one, and the other one's just like a tiny little brick. I can't snap the fucker. And then I started like, wait a minute. Like, are these, like, I'm assuming that they ran out of this pill and then finished filling my order with the new run of the pill or from a different company or something, and just the design got changed, the shape. But I'm assuming that. I don't I didn't look, which then got me nervous. Like, should I be looking these up and make sure? Because I mean that's great that you got your degree for these pharmaceuticals and shit, but I gotta trust that you not fuck that up. Like, I don't want to disparage. Okay, look, I'm just saying, if you spent all your day learning chemical composition and names of drugs and shit, maybe you didn't spend so much time on shapes. I don't know. I'm just saying, if you hyper-focus on one thing, you tend to be lacking in other areas. I'm just hoping shapes wasn't one of them and you gave me a whole different pill. But I shouldn't assume that, because I've dealt with people, and most people are fucking idiots. And you know what? Pharmaceutical people... Oh, wait. I am too fucking high. I hit the wrong button. What? Where is it? That's not it. Oh,
Catching a stray.
sorry, pill dispensing people. But yeah, I'm just saying, it ain't specific to them. Everybody. 7 out of 10 people you meet's a fucking idiot. George Carlin said, think of how dumb the average person is, and then realize half of them are stupider than that. And, yeah. So like I said, just having a degree in something doesn't necessarily buy you a lot of leeway from me, because I'm 45 years old. I've dealt with enough people now to know that having a degree doesn't mean you're not a fucking idiot. But anyway, like I said, I digress. I'm yapping too much. This pill thing got me all worked up. I'm nervous. Like, I don't even know what it's for, and now two different shapes. It's too much for me. Yeah, used to be a big fan of this beer. I remember it being lighter, more hazy, less hoppy is the way I remember it. But pretty much anything from New Glarus is a solid beer. You can only get it in Wisconsin, so if you haven't been here, you probably haven't had anything from them. Spotted Cow is their flagship, their most famous. But I'm just stalling. I should be, you know what?
Hi, I'm Wilford Brimley.
While I stall.
You know, when you first find out from your doctor, you know, when you first find out from your doctor, you know, when you first find out from your doctor, you got diabetes, can be mind-boggling. Diabetes.
I wonder if I'll get copyright flagged for this.
Diabetes.
Somebody owns this.
I'm a diabetic. 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 Liberty will even give diabetes right to your door. And you don't ask yourself, how in the world am I going to afford all this stuff?
I don't have $1 on me, and the Wrath of Todd, if you're new to the show, it's the Wrath of Todd fine bucket. And if I don't finish my drink in an episode, then I owe $1 to the fine bucket. And I don't have one. Oh, my wallet's over there, but yeah.
Hi, I'm Wilford Brimley.
Now I wish I had my reverb mic, but it's not hooked up, sadly. I think I could hook that up. That's too much. It's too much, man. But I don't want to pay $1. So I'm gonna finish. You know what?
Hi, I'm Wilford Brimley.
One more time, I'll finish this off and sign off. So for Drinks with Ron, I'm Ron,
You know, when you first find
signing
out
off.
from your doctor, you know, when you first find out from your doctor, you know, when you first find out from your doctor, you got diabetes, can be mind-boggling. Diabetes